What up? What up? What it is? What it do? You know who it is. Who the hell are you? Back again after some time with the fellas from the 22 twos. There's only two of the 22 twos here. So we the first part, the two twos, and then the twos with the microphone they missing. But anyway, we here. We tapping in with y'all. We got some things to talk about because you know it is the absolute best time of the year. It is NFL football season. It is NCAA football season. It is NBA basketball loading. We are
Mm.
hyped. We're excited. Major League Baseball playoffs is around the corner. Oh man, it's so much going on. I swear to you, September, October is the best time in the sports world. But we here to recap week one. Week one was something special. I mean, it was like getting back with your ex, and she learned some new tricks while she was away, and she gave you some amazing, you know. So that's what week one felt like. It felt like, oh my goodness, where did you learn that? Easy taught me. Anyway, I'm gonna kick it over to our moderator today, Mr. Clark Kent himself, so he can get us through this. And I'm gonna try to stay on track.
Listen, speaking of staying on track, that was crazy. Like the analogy is like, what kind of podcast are we talking about right now? Is this sports? Is this football? No, but listen, it's the most wonderful time of the year. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't Christmas. We talking about NFL kickoff Sunday. You know what I'm saying? A lot of awesome matchups. One of the matchups that I thought that we should discuss today is one of the premier marquee matchups of Sunday night, which was the Buffalo Bills versus the Baltimore Ravens. Now, Josh Allen and crew rattled off 16 unanswered points in the last 4 minutes of the fourth quarter to edge Lamar Jackson's Ravens. The Ravens led for 3.5 quarters in dominant fashion on both sides of the football, particularly 169 rushing yards from Derrick Henry, and they had about 129. He had about 123 yards on the ground in the first half. It didn't look like the Bills were on the field, bro. But with Henry's lost fumble with 3 minutes left in the game, the Buffalo Bills had new life, and they did not look back. So the Ravens had about 238 yards total on the ground, but yet and still fell 9 minutes behind in time of possession during this contest, which to me is crazy because we all know that ball control is the name of the game when you're running it on the ground, and falling behind that much, having that kind of disparity in time of possession is unheard of. Um, what do you attribute the collapse to, given those statistics?
Well, the time of possession doesn't really bother me. I think they had a very balanced attack. I think their run plays they just got chunk plays, and you know that changes what it looks like when you look at time of possession. So I feel like maybe the time of possession is a little bit misleading. Um, but ultimately, I think what led to the collapse is um, you the Ravens are playing the Bills again, and they should understand at this point that the Bills and Josh Allen play 60 minutes of football.
Sure
Like
do.
they not there is if there's a second left on the clock, they're playing the hardest they played all game. Like what I'm saying? Like they don't take a minute off. Um, I think they kind of let their foot off the gas. I think they got a little comfortable with that lead, and they figured with the time and the lead things they can't come back. And then they scored 16 points in a very unconventional way. It wasn't like two touchdowns and two-point conversions. It was like they failed on the 2-point conversion, and they actually ended up getting 16 points from with a field goal. So I think the Ravens should take a lesson from this. I think the lesson is play 60 minutes of football, and I think the Bills have as if everyone wasn't already. I think they've put everyone on notice. Josh Allen is who Josh Allen is. And that's not taken away from anyone else, but Josh Allen did what Josh Allen does. So,
And to your point, the Ravens are a little bit delulu. You know what I'm saying? Their team is completely different from how their team used to be in the 2000s to the 2010s. They are no longer a defensive football team. Mind you, they have outstanding players on defense. Kyle Hamilton, Jair Alexander, Roquan Smith. Uh, Listen, they got all stars. Listen, they got all pros all over the football field, right? But the source of their strength now, they are no longer a defensive team. They are an offensive football team. And when you have the ball in the hands of Lamar Jackson, you have to take advantage of those opportunities and score points. You know what I'm saying? If you can't score points, then the Ravens, as you could clearly see, buttholes get tight, pressure bust pipes, pause. So it's a bad situation for them. You know what I'm saying? They have to be able to put points up and keep the game out of reach. The minute they started getting tight and running the football and becoming 2 runs and a pass, you know what I'm saying? It becomes a predictable football team, and they don't want to put themselves in that kind of position. But Josh Allen, dog. Josh Allen, you literally got that magic, bro. That pass that was intended for Shakir bounced off him and ended up in Keon Coleman's hands.
yeah.
The pass up the sideline right over the head of Jair Alexander with his head turned, and then the dart over the middle. You know what I'm saying? It was awesome to watch. It was poetry in motion, because I was in another chat where somebody, shout out to Marty, said, "Look, it's too much time. It's 15 points. He has an opportunity to be able to win this football game, and that was more than enough." But to that point, what level of concern do you have, if any, for the other side of the ball? I know we're talking about the Ravens, but the Buffalo defense.
I don't. You know what? I'm not too concerned with the Buffalo defense. Really and truly, I was having a conversation about it earlier. I was like, the difference. Whoever picked Josh Allen in fantasy is gonna love him, and he's gonna be better than Lamar Jackson. He's gonna be better than Jalen Hurts. He's gonna be the best fantasy quarterback that you can have. Not because he's better than those guys, but because of what
because he has to be.
He has to be. He's gonna be in. He is gonna be in closer games. He's gonna have to, and I think there's something to say about that style of play, where it's like everyone is just playing again for 60 minutes. So there's never a point where they're like going into the game and they're getting onto the field and they're like, all right, we just need to, burn some clock. They're trying to score every time they get on the field. And I think that's maybe the mentality some other teams need to take.
And they can attack you multitude of different ways. You got Dalton Kincaid, you got James Cook, you got Khalil Shakir, you got Keon Coleman. You got guys that can attack you on all 3 levels of the football field, and it's tough to defend. Now, talking about their defense, first of all, I think that's an aberration, because the best offense in the NFL, they just played them on Sunday. So there's no barometer, and it's the first game of the season, in my personal opinion. I'm not going to say that the Buffalo Bills have the worst defense, but what I will say is the biggest test comes for them early in the season next week against the New York Jets to see if they can keep it rolling.
I do believe that as well.
Yeah. DeAndre Hopkins and Lamar Jackson were seen getting snuffed by a fan in the crowd when they were celebrating that touchdown in the third quarter. Was Lamar Jackson wrong for mushing the fan back in the face for touching him in places where he does not need to be touched?
Nope, not at all.
Keep that energy.
Yo.
You smack me, I'm going to smack you back.
Yo, treat me like you would treat me if you saw me on the streets.
It's a fact.
That's how it is.
It's a fact.
These people, it's football and fans, and I get it. Things get out of control. There's beer and alcohol involved, and people drink, and but
that kid looked like he was 12.
The fact of the matter is, right? It doesn't matter.
He looked like a grown man.
Yeah, but you know what? The environment around him,
he had the battery. He had the battery in his back.
Yeah, and I think that's what people need to realize. Like stop hiding behind the protection of
The veil
law
of being in the
enforcement
crowd,
or in the
being
crowd. And
right,
listen,
right.
look, grown. This is you gonna act like a grown man. I'm gonna treat you like a grown man.
That's a fact.
So I don't
But
feel like you're
I'm
doing
gonna,
wrong.
so I'm gonna push back. I'm gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate. I'm gonna say that Lamar Jackson, as one of the faces of the NFL, because let's face it, he is one of the faces of the NFL. He has to demonstrate better emotional intelligence in that situation, and leave that up to his buddies. You know what I'm saying? And leave that
I
up
hear
to his
you.
old linemen. Leave that
I
up to
hear
his wide
you.
receivers, his tight ends.
I
Let
hear
them
you.
fit the bill. You know
I
what I'm
hear
saying?
you.
And he paid them
I
on the
hear
back
you.
end. Hit them with that
I
back end
hear.
money.
I hear
You
you.
know,
I hear you. But let me tell you something, right? It's one thing to ask him to do that with another player on the field.
this is
It's a
true.
whole nother thing to ask him to do it with somebody who is not on the field.
This
And
is true.
I think his reaction was expected and justified. And I hope nothing else comes of it other than conversation.
And you know what's so interesting about that whole exchange? Just to put a bow on this conversation. Nobody talked about it on Monday morning. Nobody cared because everybody knew what that kid did was wrong,
Yeah,
and he got his
exactly.
just desserts.
Fans,
But
chill out, man. Stop hitting people.
relax.
Stop throwing dildos on courts. Stop, yo. You didn't watch the game, man. Relax your feelings, yo.
Stop throwing joint skis on
Yo,
the court, like Jada
yo.
say. Stop
Press
throwing the
trim
joint
enough. Press
skis.
people button. Yo,
and
stop playing.
lastly, do you think we'll see these teams match up again in the postseason? And what
I
does
don't
that
think.
look like?
I don't think so. I don't think we'll see them again.
Top two teams in the AFC,
Yeah, yeah.
top seeds 1 and 2.
I think so. I think
Who's
so.
your 1 and 2?
I think. Honestly, I think Ravens will be one and Bills will be two. The Bills are good for 2 or 3 slip ups a season. Um, I think they won't see each
So
other.
are the Ravens, as we
Nah,
clearly just
but
seen.
nah, but I think the Ravens this loss will do something for them. I think, and they know what to expect in their division, so they're gonna start showing up to play a little bit better. I think the Bills kind of feel like, we got our division sewn up, and I don't think it's gonna be as easy as they think for some of those divisional games. So I think they will take some losses. I think, like you said, the Jets is gonna be a tough matchup for them, and I think I don't think I ain't worried about Miami, but I think the Patriots will figure a few things out, and they're gonna be a good football team, which means a lot. So, but I don't think they'll see each other in the playoffs. And if they do again, man, I'm here for it. Got my popcorn ready.
In true dynamic fashion, maneuvers versus Sean, I disagree. I say that the Bills are still the cream of the crop in the AFC East. They will dominate in true Bills fashion. The Ravens, they're in a tougher division, homeboy. You know what I'm saying? They got a tougher go at it with the Steelers, being who the Steelers are, with Aaron Rodgers playing as well as he did on Sunday. I could foresee that continuing. Their defense is their biggest question mark. You know what I'm saying? I think that over time, I think that over time that they will get better and gel and become a better unit, because then again, you have to remember that these are brand new pieces. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I really like I really like the Bills.
I
Well,
like
in
the
any
Bills.
yeah, then that's where we agree.
Yeah,
Shout to you.
I'm a Josh
Listen,
Allen. Right.
I'm a Josh Allen guy too. What can I say?
Yeah.
But listen, this has been another episode of 22 Twos. 2nd and 2. We out. Thanks for tuning in.